Hi ladies, it's Kathy Eads, your upline team leader once again, and this is part 2 of new consultant training, and it's all about bookings because if you have bookings, you have an active business, and that's what we all want. So let's jump right into talking about bookings. I think that planning by the month is really smart, and a great way to do that is to decide one of two things. How many moms do I want to help get free books for their kids this month or next month because we're planning ahead? Or how much income do I want to earn next month? That way you can plan your calendar according to the goals that you want to achieve rather than just planning bookings and hoping that that fulfills the goal that you want to reach. So first of all, take a look at your calendar and find out, when are you available to work? When do you have commitments otherwise? Go ahead and mark somehow on your calendar, whether it's electronic or paper, mark those dates that you're available with an X or an orange circle or something, so it's very easy for you to identify when you can book your events. And some of us have a hard time scheduling official office hours because we have young children or we have other commitments. So our office hours may be spread out into chunks throughout the day. But the power hour method that Belinda Ellsworth trains on is a really smart way to work, breaking your hours worth of time down into chunks of, I'm going to spend 15 minutes just on making booking contacts. I'm going to spend 15 minutes just on making customer care calls to take care of servicing my prior and future customers. I'm going to make 15 minutes set aside just for contacting folks who I think may be interested in learning more about the business. And I'm going to take 15 minutes just on professional development. These videos, for instance, are one 15-minute block of time that you're spending on professional development. That being said, those little pieces may be spread out throughout the day, especially if you have young children. You're going to do 5 minutes of calls here and 5 minutes of calls there, but throughout the day you want to have completed that power hour, and you will be very productive and you'll be getting some good results. If your results are not turning out the way that you want, it may have to do with the words that you're using. And we have a good bit of training on words to use that are really effective, because sometimes the way that you're talking about your business can be tweaked a tiny bit and it's much more effective in getting the results that you want. So that's an easy thing to learn how to do, because I personally was not very good at it early on, and I've learned how to be very comfortable talking about it and using really effective words. So your booking notebook we talked about last time, that's the place to go when you're starting to want to fill that calendar. You can refer to it repeatedly, and you don't have to have a notebook. It can be an index card file, whatever works for you to keep those leads and potential hostesses, potential recruits, potential team members at hand with their contact information, easy to get to. I always try to have my call list, my booking notebook, my to-do list, prepared the night before the next day when I plan to achieve those things, because then I don't have to take any time getting organized on what I want to get done in my power hour. And you will work your way outside your warm network, which is great because it doesn't take long to do that. And you obviously are going to want to be doing business with people outside just your friends and family. You're going to want to start with that warm group of people you already know, but you will quickly move outside that. And these are some groups pictured here. Obviously, you have family. You may have people you are currently working with, people you've worked with previously, current friends. Interest groups, it says, but if you're a member of a club, or if you are a member of an exercise class, if you have old friends from high school, college, all of those kinds of things, Girl Scouts, people you go to church or synagogue or mosque with, any of those groups of people are going to have moms who'd like great books for their kids. So it is good to start with people that you have a known relationship with, and then you'll move outside that as the friends of those acquaintances will be invited to the shows and can book with you. Absolutely book those 6 shows in your first 4 to 6 weeks. Very important. It is recommended that you have a minimum of 4 to 6 events in a month to really build your business. If you book 6 things, if one reschedules or one cancels because someone has an urgent emergency, you still have 4 on your calendar, so you still have a growing business. That kind of gives you some cushion. These were in the last video, and you may or may not have taken notes on those prior. These are some words that you might be able to use. I think it's just very important that you find things you're comfortable with. So if these words don't work for you, pick some others. You can pause this video if you want to jot any of these down. I think the most important thing is to be really genuine with people and say, you know, I've started this business. I'm really excited about the product. I'd love to introduce you to Usborne if you aren't familiar with them. Have you ever heard of these books? And if people have never heard of them, they probably are going to want to see them and get to know them before they actually schedule a show. If they're your best buddy and they're going to do whatever would be great to support you, maybe not. They'll just say, yeah, let's do it. But you can gauge that and pick words that are appropriate for the different potential hostesses that you have. Email, texting, and Facebook are super, super popular these days. Don't let them be the only way that you contact people. Make sure that the phone is one that you use also. I'm not saying that those other means of communicating are bad or secondary or anything like that, but you really are developing a better relationship and rapport with someone if you at least are hearing each other's voice now and then. And this little cartoon is just pretty funny. Do have expectations on, you know, what is urgent and important in your business and what can be left to take care of later. I say take care of your income producing activities first thing every day. And then if you have any administrative things to do, orders to put in, flyers that you want to develop or look for that are already developed online, anything like that is secondary to those things that you need to do that are going to build your income, which is booking shows, booking other events, talking to potential team members, and those kinds of things. If you haven't read Stephen Covey's book, the 7 Habits of Highly Effective People, this is discussed the different quadrants. So quadrant 1 you want to take care of first. Quadrant 2, obviously important stuff but not urgent, like getting that show closed out. Quadrant 3, urgent but not important, like this needs to get done, but if it doesn't happen until tomorrow, that's okay. And then obviously quadrant 4, those things that, like, you know, cleaning off the desk is important, but not so important and so urgent it has to be done right away. We talked about objections a little bit last time too. You kind of want to go for the no. Not that that's what you want the ultimate answer to be, but when you get an objection from someone, you have something to work with. And you definitely want to work with that objection and help that person know, hey, it's okay if you're unsure about this. I really want to work with people who are excited about Usborne books and, you know, really think it's a cool thing to share these with their friends. So I want to make sure that I can help you to do that, and you know, address their specific concerns so they know you're a partner. And these are some questions you can ask if someone says, I don't know, if I'm not sure I want to do this. Well, what's keeping you from booking? That's a nice wide open question, and they can give you their response. Maybe they had another show and it didn't go well for them. You know, maybe they have one of these other excuses. I don't want to be that annoying friend who asks people to come over and buy stuff. And my response to that is, well, would your friends be glad to have access to these books, or would they feel annoyed that you invited them to come see these books for their kids? It's a good question for them to consider. You want to ask everybody, don't prejudge. You never know who may want to host, so ask each and every one of them as you're checking people out. You can reach out to people on Facebook and through text. I have some great training from Michelle Withers on words to use that really help to get that ball rolling. You don't go straight to booking or your product. You develop a relationship first so people can trust you. And you do have to ask, and you do need to follow through with people if they are interested and can't book right away. Follow-up is key. Do the pretend hostess at every single party, even if there are just 2 guests. It is a visual for those people that are visual learners. And I just asked someone if they'd be just pretend that they were going to host a show, and I stack up about $150 worth of books on their lap. I don't go into the details because it's just kind of a silly thing to try to keep track of. But I'll say, you know, for an average show with a couple of bookings, you're going to get between $150 and $200 in books. And this is what that will look like for you. The door price slip or customer service card, whatever you use, this is great to start at the bottom to go through with them. And I just explained that, you know all the information at the top, that's your vital stats. But these things at the bottom, I wanted to give you more information about so that we can work our way up through this. When they put yes or maybe, go ahead and get a tentative date so that you can work on making sure that that holds. And then even if they have a no on here, I go ahead and ask them anyway, because then you can get into that conversation about why is your, why? So what's holding you back from hosting? Especially if you know that they're having fun and enjoying the process and they're enjoying the books. An open date card can be just a blank calendar. I also have a document that's a simple one that just has your next 3 available dates and they pick from one of those. You don't want to have your general calendar that has everything like your doctor's appointment and dentist appointment and the kids' soccer games on it because it's just too messy, crazy. So go ahead and have them write their name in because that's a kind of physical commitment to that time. And go ahead and give them their hostess packet and do some very quick hostess coaching. Like these are the next 3 things that I need you to do as a hostess, and then I'll get in touch with you in the next couple days and we'll go through the others. Book close to keep up the excitement. You really want to book any shows within 3 weeks of the current show, as often as possible, because if somebody says they want to wait 6 months, they're not going to be as excited. They cool off a lot. So they're going to be a much better hostess if they do their show close in. I do give that hostess packet right at the show, so I make sure and take some of those with me to my shows. If I happen to forget them, I'll say I'm going to mail this out to you tomorrow, and I'll give you a call 2 days from now. After you've had a chance to receive it, I'll go through with you and tell you the next 3 things that you need to do to help your show be successful. Having a 30-second commercial for your business is like planting seeds about what you do. And having a 30-second commercial is all about what we do, not what we are. It allows you when you meet someone new and at a party or something, and they say, "Oh, what do?" You can say, I help families get incredible free books for their children, and I help women who want to start their own business promoting literacy. And they can say, "Oh, wow, how do you do that?" You want to get that wow, how factor. And there's definitely some specific training on developing your 30-second commercial as well. So I won't go into that in great depth, but you can kind of base yours a little bit on what I said, or you can completely do your own. You just want to make sure it has that wow, how do you do that factor. You don't want to just say, "I'm a consultant for Usborne Books," because that's who you are, not what you do. Talk about your business and opportunity to have a show. Obviously, you're going to invite each individual customer, and you do want to do it as an invitation. I invite you to join us. I'm growing a team here, and I'm looking for women who are interested in promoting literacy that would like to know more about what we do, so you can decide if this is something that would be a good fit for you and your family. And obviously, fresh leads, even if you're just doing events around town, there are always families who need great books, and there are always opportunities for us to get our name and our presence out into the community. So keep your radar up and see what's going on the marquees around town and in the local paper, and you'll find opportunities to get involved and have events outside of your parties that will then generate more parties, as well as contacts with schools and libraries, possibly with community organizations and all those kinds of things. That is our bookings training, and I thank you guys so much for taking part. If you have any questions, definitely come on over to the Facebook page, the Team Ambition Facebook page, or email, call, message, any of those things. Look forward to talking with you soon. Bye-bye.